It is 5 o'clock. It's 5:01, and it's so dark in here, but it's not dark looking here, so that's good. We'll leave it like that. Welcome to the Wayward Widow. Hi, how's everybody doing? June 2nd, it's a Sunday. We're going to start the work week. I have 2 appointments on Tuesday. I have my sensei appointment at 10 a.m. and I have my therapy appointment at 1 p.m. And they're the only 2 things that I have to do this week. I'm going to call Medicare in the morning and just make sure that there isn't anything that I need to do with Medicare because I'm approaching 65. I have a Medicare card, I have Medicare, but I just want to make sure that all my bases are covered. And then I'll call my Medicaid insurance and make sure everything's good there. Because it's taking a little while to get a definite from Compass that, everything's approved for the next year. So I'll make a couple phone calls in the morning. My son is still in the surgery center. He's having, right now, probably, they're prepping him. They're going to give him twilight sleep. A dentist is involved now because he has this little piece of tooth that was never pulled. It's not a whole tooth, it's just a little piece, but the gum has to be cut and then this piece has to be pulled out. So the oral surgeon wants to do a little twilight sleep, cut the gum, pull that piece of tooth out and probably put a stitch or 2 in there. And so he just got done his 6th round of antibiotics. They did a 6-round cycle because of all the issues that they're having with his eye. He's almost blind in the left eye because of infection and a cyst and a mass and a calcified something that was all in there. It's been a mess. So I don't know whether he's going to be kept overnight again. It depends on how he comes out of the twilight sleep. They have a shuttle that will bring him here to me, and the shuttle runs until 9. So it's going to be close. I don't know how he's going to be. But anyway, what I want to talk about, and let's see, I didn't do the card. I have to unplug you guys for a second. I'm charging my phone. Let's do the card real quick. The more you know who you are and what you want, the less you let things upset you. The action is write down your top 3 values in life. Filter all your choices through these values before making decisions. I don't know, that card didn't grab me. I read it a couple times today, but it didn't quite grab me the way some of the other ones do. But that's okay. So we're going to get rain tomorrow. We're going to get rain on Wednesday. We're going to get rain on Thursday. Just let the rain fall with no purpose. That's what Sky would say. Be like the rain. I did my Zazen. I sat Zazen. I still have to do my 15-minute exercise walking with Leslie. I do that here on YouTube. And I need to get my bath. So they're the 3 non-negotiables every day. What I want to talk about for a minute is what I wished I had done differently leading up to Sky's death and then after his death. And this is really hard for me to talk about, but I'm going to because I think it's really important. I've seen a lot of people die. I worked in a trauma unit for 10 years, a surgical intensive care trauma unit for 10 years. I worked 60 hours a week, a lot of weeks. I saw people die. I was with my dad when he died. I was taking care of him. He was on hospice. I saw my brother-in-law die. I helped my sister with him. He was on hospice. But it's a whole different ballgame when it's your partner. So, first off, the first thing I would have done differently is I would have called the insurance company and asked what all they cover as far as the medical necessities that we needed. I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on things that we needed. I didn't even think to call the insurance company. So that's something that I would advise everybody to do, is call the insurance company, your health insurance company, and see what all they cover. I didn't do that. The next thing is hospice companies. There's more than one hospice company in the world. And my and Sky's PCP office, I have one doctor in the office. He has another doctor in the office, same practice, but we have different doctors. My doctor's retiring very soon, in a couple months, and I will be going then over to his doctor, to Sky's doctor. But the hospice company that this doctor's office uses wouldn't be my first pick again. Now, the nurses that came in were exceptional, so it wasn't that. But the criteria that needed to be met was difficult. And we tried twice to get hospice in, and we were denied both times because Sky was eating a little bit twice a day. And they said that knocked him out of the criteria. So I wish now I had called other hospice companies. And I didn't even think about it. I had so much going through my mind at that time that to add something more onto me, I couldn't do. I just couldn't. So that's the second thing, is there's more than one hospice company. When he was finally approved, it was 5 days before he died. And I've heard of hospice coming on board literally the day someone dies. So we had a nurse come in once a day for about 45 minutes to an hour. The nurse that was in would help me to turn him, make sure he was clean, like boost him up in the bed, because at that point I could no longer move him on my own. And the nurses were very good, excellent nurses. So I have no issues there. What I wish I had done differently was, when he passed away that Tuesday evening, even before he passed away, like the hours leading up to, I wish I had got up into the hospital bed with him and held him. I wish I had held him. I sat next to him and held his hand, but now I wish I had held him. Skin to skin. I wish I had held him. I regret that so much. The other thing is, after he passed, I wished I had given myself more time with him. I sat with him about 20 minutes after he passed. Now I'm wishing I had given myself a little more time. It was late in the evening. It was like, when I called hospice, it probably was 9:30, probably about 9:30, 9:15, 9:30. And the nurse showed up, about 45 minutes later. I could tell that she didn't look at his chart because she thought he was my dad. And that irked me. I don't know, maybe she was in bed or something and had to get up and wasn't awake, or I don't know. But she pronounced him dead. She called the coroner, and then she called the funeral home, because we had prepaid and pre-planned his cremation. So we had a card from the funeral home as to, this is the number you call upon the passing. And so about 45 minutes later, the two men from the funeral home came in. They were very respectful, and they asked me if it was okay with me if they covered his face as they were covering him. And I said yes. Now the nurse helped me to dress him. I had him in a hospital gown, and I said I wanted to dress him. And so the nurse helped me. I put some pajama pants on him and some warm socks, and his summertime robe. This was kind of his favorite robe. during the spring and summer. And I wanted him to go out of here with one of his robes. I kept his winter robe. I put it on my bed, or I wear it a lot myself. And they were very respectful. They propped open the door and they carried him out. I went out on the balcony and I watched them carry him down the steps and put him on the litter and take him out to the car. The nurse came in then and she removed all the meds, the Ativan and the morphine. And she asked if I had anybody with me that could be with me. And I said no, because I didn't. And she said that that I would have support from the hospice group for the following 13 months. Well, I heard nothing from the hospice group for a number of days. And finally, I called them and asked about some kind of grief support. And they basically had no information for me. And I found out afterwards that they didn't have anybody there that did that at that time. They did get someone, and they do have someone now that's handling the grief part, the grief coordinator. And so I have gotten newsletters, I have gotten dates and times of when they do the phone grief meeting. But I feel like in the beginning, I was left just kind of hanging, with this particular company in the beginning. So there are things that, looking back, I wished I had done differently. Yeah. Can't do a do-over, But it's just food for thought if it's something that you need to go through with your loved one. And I don't want to hold anything in that I am thinking, because I want people to know what I've gone through and what I wished I had done differently. So it's just something to think about, I talked to him a lot as he went through the dying process. I talked to him a lot. I told him I loved him over and over. I held his hands. I kissed him 1,000 times. I whispered in his ear, told him how much I loved him. It was really hard. Yeah, it was really hard. Tuesday is 14 weeks. And for the most part, I'm managing. When I go back to like what I'm just talking about, it hits home. But better to get this information out, I think. So that's what I would have done differently. Call the insurance company, ask what they cover, check different hospice groups to see what they offer. Stay with your loved one as much as you can through the process, and have a plan. If you can prepay, pre-plan. And if you feel you need someone around you, family or friends, have that arranged. And maybe you don't. Maybe you just want the quiet. Everybody's different, So I had the quiet whether I wanted it or not. No one was with me. No one was with me. I was on my own. So I'm going to go. I'm going to do my exercise. I'm going to get my bath. I'm going to wait to hear from my son. Hopefully he's getting his tooth. That little piece of tooth has been an issue. It's 5:15. This little piece of tooth keeps causing abscesses, like over and over and over again. And then he tries to pop it, which just causes massive infection. And he doesn't need anything like he's got 2 autoimmune diseases. So he's got to not do that, you know. So this way it's going to get done the right way, and that piece of tooth is going to come out of there, and that's going to be the end of that. So, and we move on. So I'm going to go. What is that? I don't know. Something. Looks like gum. I didn't have gum. Anyway, I'm going to go. Thanks for being here. You guys take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. Make sure you share the love. Life is a vapor. Things change real fast. So don't miss anything, okay?